Um, okay, so today is February 19th, 2021, and we're with Barbara, and it was her birthday a few days ago. Okay, so I'm going to share over the screen, and we'll just kind of dive in. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so this may look like Chinese at first, but my goal today is to build the foundation of your chart so you can understand it on your own.
Okay.
So these are the charts I'm going to send you. And basically, the moment, I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are, but the moment you decided to incarnate into this physical reality, the planets were aligned a certain way. And that's why I need the exact time you're born, because it works with all the houses here, 1 through 12. And basically, the moment you decided to incarnate here, the universe took a snapshot of the planetary alignment. So that's what this is. This is your soul's blueprint, or it's your birth chart, or it's called natal chart. So this stays static. It does not change. It's literally like the universe took a snapshot. So literally this wheel is a mirror. So all of the planets were aligned in the heavens this way, and all a birth chart is we're bringing it down. So as above, so below. So what astrology teaches us is we're decoding energy. That's all astrology is. So you have everything about you on a soul level in your natal chart. What you look like, how you love, your money, your energy levels, any health issues, any trauma, any past life issues. It's all in your birth chart. And so that's why I love astrology, is because the more you decode your own chart, the more you know about yourself. And then the more you can help other people know themselves. So know thyself. So when we're on this awakening journey, astrology is an amazing tool to get to know yourself on a soul level. So I'm just going to break down what it means in a simplified form. So again, you can start researching your own chart, because as an Aquarius sun sign, so this little, can you see my cursor okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this is your sun, and all the symbols here are planets and celestial bodies. And if you don't know what they mean, if you go over to this right-hand side of the chart, it says it right there. Oh, that's the moon, that's the earth, that's the sun, Vulcan, Mercury, and so on. So what makes you an Aquarius is you were born with the sun in the constellation of Aquarius in the second house.
Okay.
And so on. And if you scroll down here, this little pyramid with all the little symbols are how the planets communicate with each other. They're called aspects. So that's why sometimes we have like a push-pull within ourselves, like one planet wants to do this and the other planet wants to do this, and it creates inner conflict. Well, that's why is there's different planets wanting to do different things within your own psyche. So decoding the aspects pinpoints your gifts and talents and challenges and what you're working through in this life. It's as if your life, your soul, you have a bucket list of stuff you want to accomplish in this life. You have like 1,000 or more things. You're like, okay, this is my bucket list. These are the things I want to accomplish. The planets and celestial bodies are making sure that you fulfill what you came here to do. So when you're researching astrology, you're realizing that the planets aren't just balls of dirt in the sky. They have energy, they hold energy, they have their own individual personalities. And each of them are trying to help you accomplish what you came here to do. So if you scroll down here, it says elements. That means if you add up all of the different planets in the signs, it works with the 4 elements. So it says you're fire dominant. So fire dominant, if you have researched the elements, fire is spirit, fire is passion, fire is movement, fire is inspiration. So the totality of your being is fire dominant. So I would definitely research fire, maybe study more of the fire element, maybe light some candles, play with fire. Fire spinning is fun. It's dangerous. I mean, that's the fire element. Is your job in life is to inspire people. Your job in life is to get them moving, like lighting a fire under their ass. Like it's quick, it's hot tempered, it's you enjoy movement. It's recommended if you're fire dominant that you do a lot of physical activity, like pick up a workout routine and do it every day to move that fire. Otherwise, if you don't move that fire, it turns into internal combustion and you can burn yourself out. And anger is a theme of fire. Like if your energy level, if you're not, things aren't moving quick enough for you, or life isn't exciting enough for you, it builds up and it manifests into anger. So stuff like that. So working with the fire elements, you're becoming more in tune with your own being. So I would definitely work more literally with like the physical fire element, like maybe light more fires, or like incense, anything hot, like eating spicy food, stuff like that's all fire element stuff. So then it says down here, you would be called water weak. So water works with emotions, air is intellect, earth is the physical body, fire is spirit. So if you're water weak, it just means you need more water people in your life. So, or working with your emotions to balance out. And again, this is all in the PDF thing. So then we go down here to modes. Cardinal energy is self-starting energy. It's kind of like fire because it's red. It's initiatory energy. It's like, let's go on an adventure kind of energy. Fixed energy is like stable, it's static, it's set in its ways, it's stubborn. And then mutable is someone who just goes with the flow. It's always prepared in every moment. It's adaptable, it's changeable, it can change its mind mid-stride. It's more flowy, it's harder to pin down. So here, you're mutable dominant. So if I put those two together, fire and mutable, it would be Sagittarius chart signature. So having a Sagittarius chart signature means that the vibration that you carry out of any zodiac sign is most like Sagittarius. And what is Sagittarius? It's fire. It's the centaur with the symbol is Sagittarius is right here, your Sagittarius rising, which I'll explain in a minute. So this is like the arrow, the bow and arrow. So that's Sagittarius. And the bow and arrow is the arrows of aspiration. It's aiming high for something. And it's also the arrows of truth. So the theme with Sagittarians is truth. They're here to find what truth is, not just subjective truth. I love the color purple, but like universal truths, like planet Earth is dying and we all need to heal ourselves and heal the planet, like universal truths. So you're here on a soul level to find universal truths. And also, Sagittarians, you can't lie to them. They have like an inner bullshit detector. So you embody that vibration. So if you embody that vibration, it's really important that you spiritually seek, because Sagittarius is the seeker. It climbs mountains. It's the traveler. It's the wanderer. It does its own thing. Its ruling planet is Jupiter, this little 4-looking thing. That's a Sagittarius ruling planet. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. You can fit like 100 Earths in one Jupiter. So if that's your rising sign, your rising right here, this line is called your rising sign or rising line. So what that means is when you were born, the sun was rising in the east of the constellation of Sagittarius. So when you're Sagittarius rising and you're Sagittarius dominant, it is really important that you study Sagittarius. You study Jupiter, because that's your chart signature. It's like your ruling planet for your whole chart is Jupiter. So Jupiter is the planet of luck. It's the planet of expansion. It's the planet of philosophy, of truth. Whatever you focus on, it expands your whole life. When you have people around you and you focus on them, their life expands, because it's you carry very lucky energy and expansive energy. So again, truth, philosophy, higher knowledge, it rules the 9th house. The 9th house is higher knowledge, not just higher knowledge like college, higher knowledge like esoterics, deep hidden information. Any kind of esoteric, deep spiritual, like the Flower of Life series, any kind of mystical discoveries is Sagittarius. It's that's where your mind typically gravitates towards, is you want to know the truth of all truths. All right, so okay, let's talk about the houses. So are you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. Again, if you have any questions, interrupt me.
Okay.
So let's go into the houses. So you have 1 through 12, just like the signs of the zodiac. And as you can see around the wheel, they're color coordinated. So you can see, Pisces is water, Aquarius is air. So that makes you an air sign, which is very intellectual. Aquarius is very intellectually stimulated. I just want to point out that since you're an Aquarian, your ruling planet is Uranus.
Okay.
And Uranus, let's see, this alien looking thing is the symbol for Uranus. It's your ruling planet. And so it's the only planet in the solar system that has a complete opposite axis. So if this planet is upside down versus everybody else's right side up, energetically, that's your energy, is you're the weirdo. You're literally, your ruling planet is on its own axis, meaning Aquarians do their own thing. You're literally like the weirdo of the zodiac. You're attracted to weird, the weirder, the better, the unknown. It's literally, our mantra is let your freak flag fly. Like you want to wear a rainbow wig and suspenders, and it's also the planet of rebellion. Like pretty much the mantra, fuck the man. Like I do it my way. I march the beat of my own drum.
Yep.
In fact, you're here to show people how to do it the right way. That's why you're so rebellious, is you're in some form or another in your life, you are meant to be a way shower for humanity at large. So whatever your vision is, and every Aquarian is different, we all have different visions and we all have different things that we want to help humanity with. Is your big dreams about helping humanity in a certain way are meant to manifest. You're meant to be a leader of some kind related to change. Abraham Lincoln was an Aquarian. He was like one of the only presidents that was for the people. His mantra, or what he said, his quote is, it's not what the people can do for me, it's but what I can do for the people. And that's the Aquarius, is like the humanitarian. I want to save the planet, and I want to save the people, and I want to save all the animals. And so I'm a little biased because I think Aquarians are pretty cool. All right, so let's go over the houses. You have, again, 1 through 12. So picture like your life is broken up into a pie chart. Like if you've ever done a pie chart as a kid where they have you, list the percentage of each area of your life. This is literally what the house system is your life broken up into 12 different parts. So, and each house, did you have a question?
No.
Okay. Sorry. So each house has a ruling sign and it has a ruling planet. So it works with like the trine of the same energy. So you have a house, you have a planet, and you have a sign that are all the same archetype and the same energy. So the first house is Aries and Mars. And it works with the body and the self, what you look like, what your body looks like. Aries, let's see. Aries is over here in your chart. Notice how they don't line up because the zodiac wheel moves clockwise and the house system moves anti-clockwise. That's why they don't match up. And everybody's charts are completely different. So Aries for you is over here in the 4th house. And your Mars is over here in the 4th house, and we'll go over all that. So first we'll go over the house system, then we'll go over the planets. So again, the first house, the ruler is Aries and Mars. And notice you have some things in a house. You have like 3 things in here. Some house you have 1 thing. So I would call this a splash chart because some they have all their planets in like 2 houses. Because everybody's, the pattern is completely different. So yours is a splash chart. So your soul wants to learn many different things in this one incarnation. So it's kind of all separated. But you do have 3 things, 3 planets in this first house, and we call that a stellium. When you have a stellium, it's 3 or more planets in a house. So it's got to be planets, not asteroids. So over here you have an asteroid, so that's not a stellium. This is an asteroid, that's not a stellium. So your stellium is in the first house. So when you have a stellium, it means you're self-focused, not selfish, but you could be self-absorbed, but that's okay. You need to be in this life. You need to be more self-focused and self-aware. That's why you chose this planetary configuration. You weren't dropped off by a stork. You chose this map of your soul because you knew this planetary aspects would help you accomplish what you came here to accomplish. whatever that is for you. So the first house, you want to know about the self on a soul level. So you have your Venus there, you have Neptune, and you have Uranus all in the first house of the house of self. When you have Uranus in the first house, Uranus rules astrology. So I'm just saying, like, if you have the planet of astrology in your first house, you're a natural astrologer. Uranus is electricity. Aquarius, Uranus, that's all electricity. So you have that running through your body, whether you notice it or not. So it makes a really good, you could use that electricity to channel into healing arts. You could use that electricity to really have amazing forward-thinking ideas. Like, you could be an amazing writer. But you have the planet of the future, and you know, it's the collective conscious. So it's a big planet to have these two big planets. So you have Venus in there. And notice it looks like a little hand mirror.
Mhm.
So Venus in a chart, they call the great attractor. So Mars in your chart is masculine. It's what you put out. It's what you desire. I desire this. Well, you have Mars in Aries, so it's the warrior. Mars is the ruler of Aries, so it's at home with itself. So you have like a warrior spirit. And this is actually a really good placement for like a martial artist or someone, again, like you have a lot of fire running through you. And with that Sagittarius chart signature, martial arts would be really good for you. But anything that's like, get your heart moving, that blood flowing, like,
Okay.
So Mars is what you desire. It's what you put out. And then Venus attracts it to you. So the great attractor in your chart is in your first house. So what that means is you're going to attract what you desire the most is when you focus on yourself. Is when you focus on, well, who am I? What do I want in this life? What do I need? Who am I on a soul level? What are my interests? What are my spiritual interests? What do I want out of life? Like, those are the questions that you're going to be asking yourself your entire life. And then Neptune. So Neptune's an interesting planet. It's the ruler of Pisces and the 12th house. Neptune is the collective unconscious. So imagine an ocean of everybody's thoughts that have ever been thought. That's a shitload of thoughts. So if you have an ocean that's Neptune and that's in your first house, that means you have access to all of the collective unconscious thoughts. So when it's in the house of your body, sometimes this manifests as physical ailments that you have to heal for the collective. Sometimes like the pain in your body is not even your own pain, it's the collective unconscious pain. So it's like when you heal yourself, you're healing for the collective. So that's a tremendous amount of healing you're doing. I mean, that's why sometimes you could be in pain and you're in such pain, whether emotionally, mentally, physically, that you want to die because it's so immense, because it's not even just your own pain, it's the collective's pain. So it's kind of a big placement. And whatever Neptune touches in a chart, have you ever driven down a road and it's foggy?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really see clearly? That's Neptune in a chart. Whatever Neptune touches, it fogs the chart. So when you have Neptune in the first house, people don't see you clearly.
Mm.
People project what they want onto you. Oh, this is who you are. This is who Barbara is. This is based on what she's doing with her life. This is who she is, or this is how I perceive her, which with that Neptune there, people aren't seeing that clearly. So I would say you're the victim of projection. People see what they want to see with you.
That makes a lot of sense.
So then I would ask, well, how do you handle that when other people keep projecting stuff onto you that's not even real? How do you handle that?
I have no clue. Like, but it makes a lot of sense. I feel like that's always been like that. But that also comes with a lot of feeling, a lot of that pain, physical, mental, all of that, and that's what's been going on with me in the last X amount of years. So yeah, I feel like I've been carrying a lot of baggage. Yeah.
You are. Other people's crap.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay, well, so knowing that about your chart, I highly recommend that you dive into some kind of healing modality to where you're continually clearing yourself.
Yeah.
Reiki is one of them, right? You can take sea salt baths every night. There's acupuncture, there's my homework from you, if you haven't already dove into this, is find a healing modality that you resonate with that you could do every day. Because literally everyone you come in contact with is going to project what they think you are. And when you have layers of other people's projections, because every thought is energy. You're carrying other people's baggage and projections and energy that you don't need to carry. So by doing some kind of Reiki practice where you like transmute the energy every day, it's like you're freeing yourself up from those projections.
Yeah, I know. I have to. And then I have a big thyroid problem, and that's another issue with my not speaking up and not doing what I need to do.
Ooh, let's talk about that. Let's see. So let's look at your Mercury. So there's something called medical astrology. Medical astrology is amazing because every single zodiac sign and planet rules a different part of the body. And so it says that Taurus rules the throat. So we look at Taurus in your chart and we look at Mercury because Mercury is how we think and communicate. And based on where you're from, also, it's inherited ancestral pain. Because, I mean, if you think about even being a woman 100 years ago, we were all, you've heard of the witch burning times that's been happening. It still happens today that women are repressed, suppressed, killed for our voice. Mm-hmm. So I guarantee you that what you're carrying, the thyroid, is literal ancestral baggage that you can heal and clear, because that's always been my wound, is the throat. Mm-hmm. So let's look at your Mercury and let's look at Taurus in your chart to see what's going on with your communication area. So, there you go. So I'm laughing because I have the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I know this especially well. So okay. So this little key right here is called Chiron. Chiron is called the wounded healer. So whatever your wound is, it's your soul wound. This isn't I don't know what your spiritual beliefs or background is, but if you were thousands of years old on a soul level, this wound has been carried over for many lifetimes. And so in this lifetime, it's very important that you look at this and you heal this. Mm-hmm. It's even more important for you because you have it retrograde. See that RX right next to it? Anytime you have an RX next to something, it means it's in a retrograde position. Okay. It means it's appearing that it's moving backwards, but it's an illusion. It's not moving backwards, but it's a skip step. So all retrogrades in your chart means that your soul forgot something. It needs to go back and revisit it. So have you ever been like, you're running late for work and you're like trying to hurry up and you get in your car and you're like, shit, I left my keys in the house. Damn it, I have to go all the way back up the stairs and all the way back. It's a skip step. So you have to go and revisit something. So your soul was like, hey, Barbara, remember you forgot your voice.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot to really give yourself a voice last lifetime. How about this lifetime? We make that very, very apparent that you need to give yourself a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to give you all kinds of shitty circumstances so you see that we need you to heal your voice because it literally helps the collective. If you free your voice, you heal yourself and you heal others.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very powerful placement that you have with Chiron. See how it looks like a key?
Mm-hmm.
This little key, when you study it, it opens up a very big door. And this very big door shows you all these things in your soul that are gifts and talents. So they also call it the shamanic healer or rainbow bridge. So studying this changed my life because I got really clear on my gifts and talents, but also my soul's wounds. I was a mute when I was a kid. I didn't even talk. So when you have Chiron in Gemini, this little 2 Roman numeral is the constellation of Gemini. So your wound is in Gemini in the 6th house. So Gemini is the ruler of Mercury. So it makes this wound extra apparent that it's in all about communication. So it asks you to, go into those uncomfortable places in yourself when you don't speak your truth. And you have to unlock your throat chakra. And the thyroid, when you suppress energy and you suppress your voice, it directly manifests as thyroid issues, throat issues, all kinds of things, all related to this area. So your journey of healing becomes an adventure of how can I express myself more? So you could ask yourself this every day, like working with the throat chakra is going to be probably the number one thing we talk about today.
Okay.
Is wearing the color blue opens up the throat. Like color therapy is real. It works. So opening up the throat with blue colors.
I have so much blue in my house, in my condo. So yeah.
Good. Your throat needs to absorb all the blue. Like if you bought blue bed sheets, you're absorbing the vibration of blue all night long. What really helps a lot is aqua aura crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing one right now. It's this.
Oh my God, I just ordered that yesterday.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny. I just saw it and I was like, I need to get that.
That's hilarious. Yes, you do. And when it comes, wear it all the time. So wearing any blue crystals, and as you know, they're like batteries. So you have like a month of energy in there, and then you have to recharge them either in the sun or in the ground or whatever. So you could get essential oils, like a diffuser. Cool. You could do, you could get a crystal bowl. So this is what really helped me is you get a quartz crystal bowl in 432 megahertz of the throat chakra specifically. And when you play the tones, you also tone with it. So if you're playing the crystal bowl as steady, a steady circle, and then the word is hey, H-E-Y, hey, hey. Okay. Sound is the most powerful vibration. It breaks up stuck energy. So using your voice, singing, chanting, drawing, painting, any form of expression, writing, poetry, yelling, because the fifth chakra is, they call it the transmutation chakra. The fifth chakra is the fifth element. It's ether. So the fifth chakra is how we think and communicate. So if you communicate or negatively self-talk all the time, like, oh, I suck, I'll never be good enough, or my communications are crappy, or oh, my art sucks, or anything like that, it directly blocks this chakra. So I know you know, but I'm just kind of reiterating what you already know to point out how important this really is be hypercritical, or hyper aware, hyper vigilant with what thoughts you are thinking, because that directly relates to the throat. So if you're thinking thoughts about yourself that's unloving, that's another thing that blocks this. So it's all tied together. So it's kind of a gift that you manifested this thyroid problem, because your body is telling you, look, on a soul level, we need to heal this. You've had this for lifetimes, this voice problem. We need to really focus on this in this life. And if you don't, you know what the alternative is. It can get worse. And you don't, it's powerful to know that this isn't just your wound. When you have a soul wound there, it's a collective wound. You're healing this for the whole damn collective. You're giving yourself a voice for all of women. That's powerful. Because we think our pain is our own. Oh, this is my pain. This is my problem. Like we're not connected to something greater. But with Chiron and all this Neptune stuff you have in the first house, that's all collective healing. So you're doing this for all the women. You're doing this probably for your whole generation. Because if this is an issue for you, it was probably your mother's 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 mother's. It's probably been genetically passed down for you to not have a voice. So also, go ahead.
And I believe that. I mean, just knowing my mom, my grandma, I definitely believe that.
Yeah, because I mean, they're raised with, we don't talk about that, especially with trauma. Like if any kind of rape happened in the family or anything, like any negative thing, any shadow thing in the family, we don't talk about that. Right. Well, what happens to that energy if you don't talk about it? What you resist persists. What you suppress manifests eventually. And for you, you have Chiron in the 6th house. And the 6th house is the house of health. So your health, it's a focal point in this life for you. So you have the wound in communication, but you also have it in your health. So there's a wound in your health. So again, I'm pointing this out for you to have power over it instead of having it have power over you. And know that it's much bigger than just you and you healing it for you. It's you're healing something for the whole collective. In the realm of healing, in the realm of releasing your throat. Have you ever done a meditation, like a shamanic journey?
No.
Because you can actually, it sounds weird, but you can ask your throat directly, well, what do I need to heal? And you can do like a little, you can make it like they call it like a shamanic journey inside of yourself where you're totally, you could put some calming music on, light some candles, like make a ritual out of it where you have silence. And you have like a comfy, like you lay down in a comfortable position and you tune into each part of your body and you give your body love. Because, that whole Dr. Emoto thing is, we're 80% water. And so when we give ourselves love, right, the cells in our body go, oh, thank you. But when we give ourselves hate, the cells go, ah. So if you tune into like every part of your body and then you get to your throat and you're like, I love you, throat. What do you need? What do you need to heal? You will hear something. You will intuitively feel it. You will see it in your mind's eye. You'll hear something. You'll know something just by asking your throat directly. Well, what do you need, throat? I'm here to heal you because I love you, because you're a part of me, because we live in the same ecosystem, right? When one thing in the ecosystem's off, we're all off. So I would really encourage, I'm not going to tell Aquarian what to do, but I'm going to suggest, making this process fun. It doesn't have to be like, oh, fuck, I have a thyroid problem. Now I have to go to the hospitals and, take all these pills and do surgery. No, it becomes a spiritual adventure.
And that's what it is for me, honestly. From the beginning, it wasn't just like I wasn't really upset. I was just like, okay, well, I have to start doing something else. This isn't working, whatever I've been doing. And that's what I've been slowly getting myself into, all of that. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and I feel it. It's a journey. It's a true journey for me. And it's just, I kind of hit rock bottom at one point, and I just knew I had to change. So
that's how it works. We don't know until, bam, we get punched in the face by the universe.
Exactly. I felt like, it was giving me signals and I didn't listen. And then finally at one point it just slapped me in the face and be like, you have to start doing something else. This isn't working.
Yep. You got punched in the face. Awesome.
So
yeah, I would just suggest you do what you want, but the more you do, like, I'm sure you already know this, the more you stay away from Western medicine, because they're just going to give you pills.
Yeah, no pills for me.
Because the Sagittarian is very all natural, also with all that Sag in your chart. I mean, it's just who you are. So
and that is truly what I am. It's all about all natural. Yeah.
Very cool. So I mean, shamanism, all those things, like you're spiritually seeking. Okay, so we got a little off track, but it was necessary. So the first house is the self, what we look like. It's Aries and Mars. The second house is Venus and Taurus. It's the house of money. So there's Venus in your chart, and then Taurus is over here. So it's the house of your finances, money, your value system, your possessions. This is my house, my car, my stuff and things, my bank account, my stuff, my resources. You have your sun there. So again, that's what makes you an Aquarius. Your sun is in the constellation of Aquarius. And your sun is shining its solar rays, because these are physical, real planets. The sun is shining its light in the second house of finances and resources. So whether you're aware of it or not, resources and finances and money are important to you. It could be someone who has a lot to give, a lot of resources, a lot of just a resourceful person. Maybe your value system is really important to you. But those kinds of things will be a theme in your life. So the third house is Mercury. And so it's at home there. So Mercury and Gemini. And this is your Gemini. So Mercury and Gemini rule the third house. This is your left brain thinking and your communication. So again, we were going to look at your Mercury, because this also plays into the wound, is what's your communication style? So your communication style is in Pisces. So when Mercury is in Pisces, Pisces is the dreamer. Pisces is Neptune. Pisces is water. It's the poet. So when you have Mercury there, Pisces rules music. Like music is really healing and really important to Pisces Mercury people. Dreams, like dream interpretation, like dream journaling
Mhm.
is super Mercury Pisces. So the more you communicate in your natural style of Mercury and Pisces, the more also you heal this. So if you want to play and if you want to learn an instrument, you can express yourself through music easily. And it doesn't have to be for other people, it's just for you. You know, if you play a song on guitar and you know like 3 chords,
Mhm.
that's very Mercury Pisces, is playing music and expressing through music. No one else has to hear it. You can do like your own music therapy session with yourself where you're like saying the things you never gave yourself permission to say through music.
Okay.
Um so Mercury in Pisces loves talking about emotions.
Mhm.
So if that's something you haven't given yourself permission to do, or you're just now doing now, I highly recommend you talk about your emotions every day, all day with people. I mean, that's having a career too, where you work with people talking about emotions, huh?
I do. Oh, okay. I do have a career that I talk a lot with people,
Nice.
but not about emotions. Well, depending.
Well, what do you do?
I'm an interior designer.
Nice.
Yeah,
Great.
so creative.
That makes sense. You got all the 4th house stuff here.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, if you have some friends or family that you can talk to about your emotions or about emotions, it feeds this throat center and your Mercury and Pisces. So if you do that more, it'll help that. Or you could pick up an instrument and learn it and, feel your emotions, express it through music.
Mhm.
Plus your Jupiter is there. Jupiter's again is a planet of luck, expansion. You expand your whole life where you go where your Jupiter is. So if your Jupiter's in Pisces, that's a very spiritual placement. A lot of people with Jupiter in Pisces are spiritual teachers. So it is a very you search and seek through spirituality. So communicating emotions, communicating your spiritual beliefs, communicating how you see the world will greatly heal you and expand your whole life. So then the 4th house is ruled by Cancer and the moon. So this is Cancer.
Mhm.
And then your moon is over here in Virgo. So the 4th house is the mother. The opposite house, the 10th house, is the father. So in the house of the mother is house and home. So it's your family roots, your ancestry, your house and home. You have Mars there. Mars, and wherever you have Mars, it charges up that chart, that area of the chart. So the fact that you're an interior decorator makes perfect sense because Mars is charging up the area of home.
Mhm.
So you have a never-ending supply of energy through Mars to work in the home. You could be like work at home.
I
You
do.
could be so yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Homey. So home is important. Like
Yes.
having a nice home.
Mhm.
But also home is not just the 4 walls you live in, right? Your home, your vessel. This is my body, it's my home. It's the home of my soul.
Right.
So having, comfort, a comfy home, a nice home
Mhm.
is really important to you. And yeah, I can see you definitely, helping other people with that. Plus, when you're in people's homes, think about it. You're in their home. It's all a reflection. So if you see someone with like a really crappy home and they're hoarders, that's all a reflection of within themselves. So by you doing interior decorating, you're actually helping people on an emotional level.
Mhm.
So when you having all these like different ideas or how you could help people with their home, I'm pretty sure, you trigger some emotions in people.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you could take your business to the next level and help them through their emotional blockages. Well, this is why my back room is so horrible, is because, I have this trauma from when I was 10 that I never healed. And I mean, that's a very intimate place to work, is people's homes.
Yeah.
You're up in their soul, basically, because that's where all that's where everybody let goes, is their home.
Their home, yep.
So that's deeply personal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there is the RX repeating
Yeah.
on the house of 4, right? What does that mean?
So see this little horseshoe looking thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's called the north node of the moon.
Okay.
And then the opposite is the upside down horseshoe thing, is the south node. Some astrologers say that this is the most important placement in the whole chart. So the south node, they say, is where you came from in the past, whether it's early childhood or past lives, is the south. That's where you came from, the past. So it's like they call it the dragon's tail, and then the north node is the dragon's head. So it's where you're headed it's your evolutionary path. So your evolutionary path, your north node, the dragon's head, is headed in the direction of the 4th house. So what you're doing right now with your work is very much in alignment with what your soul wants to focus on. It wants to focus on home. It wants to focus on family roots, ancestry, like deep ancestral healing is the 4th house. So studying your ancestry and seeing how, like, you literally carry the blood of your ancestors. You are your ancestors. You're the dream of your ancestors.
Yep.
So your soul is very much guided to go way back into the original ancestors, because there's a lot of power in the blood. You have your ancestors' gifts and talents just by existing, but you also carry their shadows.
Right.
You also carry their crappy DNA that you're clearing and healing currently. So your soul, again, yeah, you're really focused on a soul level in the 4th house. And in the past, you're focused more on career in a past life. You're very, very, like, you were the father figure of the home. You were more concerned with your career than your family. And to correct the balance in this life, you're paying more attention to the family. It's the mother archetype. 4th house is the mother. So you yourself could be like a mothering, nurturing person for people in some form. Or the mother plays a big role in your life, in this life. So yeah, paying attention to the home, because that's your soul's evolutionary journey. And we don't really start working on that until we're 30. So sounds like you're in tune with your chart. You're like, you intuitively know where you're going.
I hope so.
Well, you are, because you're tapped in. Especially being an Aquarian. Okay, so huh?
I was just like, I always felt like I was the weird one, so it makes a lot of sense.
That's a gift, to be a weird one.
My husband always said, when I asked him, like, how did you, why did you fall in love with me? It was like one of the reasons, and he was just like, I don't know, you're just peculiar, you're just different. I'm like, okay,
Hell yeah,
that makes sense.
I love it. Why would you want to be a cheap, normal? Ugh.
No, I know, I love it too. I wouldn't change anything about that.
That's great. So the 5th house is the house of play. It's the fun house. It's the sun and Leo. Let's see, where's your Leo? Leo's over here for you. Vulcan is an asteroid that works with your hands. It's the blacksmith of astrology. And then this is Earth.
Okay.
Earth for you is Leo. So that's how you feel at home on planet Earth, is doing Leo things, which is playing with kids, which is you're like, no, not me. Not kids. So like playing with your inner child. It could be playing with kids. It could be, it's the house of amusements. The fifth house is all about creativity, play, romance, gambling, sports. So that's how you feel more on Earth, is doing some of those activities. So maybe you need more sports, maybe you need more romance, maybe you need more play or art, or drawing, painting, expressing yourself. Plus this little, it looks like an X-Men symbol from the comics. That's called your Pars fortune. Notice the word fortune.
Right.
That's your lot in life. Your luck is in your creativity and romance and play. So when you feel down on your luck, go to your Pars fortune, which is in the fifth house. So when you feel, if you ever feel down and out or crappy or depressed, go to your luck, go to your Pars fortune and play. Go dancing, go paint a picture, go play sports, go take some martial arts classes, go, express yourself, do some inner child work. So those are the things that you're lucky in. You have like a natural luck area. So it's like, if you don't use your luck, it just sits there, like use it or lose it, right? So just remember that if you do feel crappy or down and out or depressed, like go express yourself. You'll feel 100 times better. It rejuvenates you. So we talked about the sixth house a little bit. The sixth house is Virgo and Mercury. Virgo and Gemini have to share a planet. You get your own planet. So yeah, Venus, Libra and Taurus have to share Venus, and Mercury and Virgo have to share Mercury. So the sixth house is Virgo, Mercury. It has to do with health, my health. It has to do with being of service. It has to do with your job. 10th house is career, 6th house is jobs. It has to do with small pets. 12th house is big pets like horses. 6th house is like cats and dogs and fish and all that. So again, you got Chiron there, the wounded healer. So there's a wound there in the area of health and service and small pets. Like maybe this is a placement of, some people are veterinarians with the Chiron in the 6th house there. But basically it's a healer of some kind, because you have your wounded healer in the house of healing. So you're a healer of some kind. It's just, you have to heal yourself to step into that role.
Right.
And you'll never have to be perfect to be able to heal someone. It's, even if you're one step ahead of someone, you have the ability to help someone.
So I've been like the last several like weeks, I want to say, maybe months, I've been like getting this in the back of my head with like health coach, health coach, health coach. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've been kind of trying to combine with what I do from home, which is design, mostly kitchens and cabinetry and stuff like that. And then combining with the health.
Yeah. No, you absolutely should get like a health coach thing tomorrow, because with this is, you're going to have to heal yourself in this life. You're hyper aware of your health.
Yeah.
So that makes the best healer, because you're hyper aware of your own health. And guess what? Especially being in America, people are so unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like they are so out of alignment with what health is because of mainstream media. It's messed up the crap and the garbage people put in their bodies.
It's horrible.
And so because you're forced to heal, because Chiron's like, yo, you have to heal, you have no choice, then you have all of these gifts and talents from learning about your own healing process that you can help, thousands of people by making healthy choices. So I absolutely encourage you to get a health coach certification of some kind.
Mhm.
There's a lot of cool ones out there.
There are. I've been just looking at it last week and this week, and I think I'm gonna do that because it's been nagging me for the last several, I want to say maybe a few months now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your guides. Your guides are like, hey,
Yeah, exactly. Like,
hey,
yeah, or like,
I'm listening.
Mhm.
So yeah, listen. Because then you could totally like, people are like, oh my God, I love your interior design stuff. What else do you do? Like, you're so healthy. Oh, here's my card. I also do health coaching and I charge $200 an hour.
Coach.
Because there's so many people that are like, I want to lose weight. And I'm like, that's Barbara's role. It's not me. Go talk to her.
Hmm.
And then your Mars and Aries will be like, all right, this is what it's like, the drill sergeant energy that you have. It's like, all right, this is what you need to do. This is exactly when you need to do it. Come
Mhm.
on.
Yeah, that makes sense. The fire, yeah, the fire
Get
energy.
fire under their ass.
Like I always feel so much better when I have a lot of work and I
Yep.
have that pressure, because it doesn't make me feel stressed out. It just makes me feel like I have to get it done and I can do it.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes the fire. Even though I'm like the worst sports player ever, like I hate sports. I don't exercise at all, which I know I should, but I do not do that. But yeah, so I think that's another part of the reason why it's all stuck in my body, because I don't do the fire part in me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good to know. So, I can light a fire under your fire because you have to move that energy, or
Yeah.
it is like, then I was going to ask you, do you get body work? Because getting body work, even if you don't exercise like hardcore cardio every day, you could still get body work to like help release that energy out of your body.
No, I don't do anything except like walking. Well, for a long time, my heart rate was so high because of my thyroid, because I have Hashimoto. So it was so high that I couldn't really do, like I could do like 10-minute walk and that's it. I couldn't do it. So now that I finally feel better, like the last 6 months, I finally feel like getting back into myself and I can go for a walk and walk for 3 miles and I'm fine.
Nice.
That's when I start to feel better. I think that's when I exactly started to feel better, once I could move my body and go out and I didn't have to worry about it, that it's, my heart is gonna give up on me or something.
Yeah. Well, I very much encourage you to like pick some kind of routine with exercise, and you can try different things. That's the beauty of working out too, is you can experiment.
Yep.
You can again make it a fun adventure of, I really like hiking, or I up steep incline hills, or I really like biking or swimming, or so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So have fun with that process, the wounded healer in the house of health. It'll be a lifelong journey for you, so have fun with it.
Oh, great.
So the seventh house, so once we get above, they call this the horizon line. So this was your rising line, right? You got the sun rising in the east, and then this line is your relationship line. It's your descendant. So it's how people perceive you. So you have Gemini on the descendant. So Gemini, when people first meet you, they see that Gemini. So they, again, project, even without the Neptune, people have first impressions of everyone and projects what they think they are. Oh, you remind me of so-and-so. I'm going to project this good thing onto you or this crappy thing onto you. So when people meet you, they meet the Gemini and they're like, oh, she's intelligent. She's maybe shy. She, flits around from one thing to another. She has many different passions. She's all over the place, or whatever, like people want to project. But that's what people see first, is that Gemini. It also means that that's a kind of partnership that your soul is most attracted to, because the seventh house is all one-on-one partnerships. So it could be your friend, it could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your sister, it could be a business partner. Any one-on-one relationship is the seventh house. So with Gemini there, you would work really well with the Gemini person.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like, even marriage partner.
Okay.
So you have, this is called Black Moon Lilith. So Black Moon Lilith is a very interesting asteroid because she works with your core fear. So if you're, tens of thousands years old on a soul level, your soul throughout different lifetimes have accumulated different gifts and talents, but also fears. It's just a subconscious fear that you carry with you naturally through all of your experience in all your lifetimes. And every single person has Black Moon Lilith somewhere in their chart. If you're a human, you have a core fear. It ties into the root chakra. It ties into our primary instinctual nature. We're all afraid of something. And we're all afraid of death. So for all of us, it manifests in different ways depending on where this is around the chart. So for you, you chose this placement of fear of abandonment, which is in Cancer. So Cancer, again, rules the fourth house and the moon. So your issues, your fears are related to emotions.
Mm-hmm.
They're related to the mother. They're related to abandonment trauma. So your life, over and over and over, you manifest situations that trigger the core fear of abandonment to get you to see that you need to heal this wound. We go through things in life not just to be tortured. Like, the universe isn't just poking you to watch you squirm. It's poking you to grow because it's your evolutionary journey to face your fears and transmute the energy of fear into love. So what you're working on in terms of fear behind all of the blockages in your body, all of it is from fear, and all of it's related to abandonment. So the question is, how do you abandon yourself? That's something to really meditate on and be honest with yourself. Like, are there times in your life where you knew that you put others first? Or you knew that instead of giving yourself a voice, you shoved it down and you abandoned yourself. Your inner child wanted to speak and you were like, shut up, inner child. I'm afraid of the consequences, or I'm afraid of speaking my truth. Get in the corner. So then your thyroid manifests and it's like, hi, you need to look at this. You need to look at the fact that you abandon yourself. So the question is, how do you abandon yourself? And what is the worst thing that could happen if you're abandoned? Are you really ever abandoned? So it's a security issue. Is you're constantly aware of, if I'm abandoned, am I still going to have a house? I'm going to have a place. I'm going to have, having a secure place in life is important to you. Because even if people abandon you, you'll always be taken care of. So security plays a huge theme in your life, whether you're conscious of it or not. But there's what I specialize in terms of astrology is shadow work astrology. So I talk about Lilith for 90 minutes alone. So because she really, when I studied this placement, I see this tremendous patterns within people of where she's at and how it plays itself out. And again, I'm not pointing this out to poke you and torture you. I'm pointing this out so you have power over it. So if you have a fear of abandonment and you make it more conscious, you can start to realize that in truth, we're never abandoned by spirit. You may feel abandoned by people in your life or situations, but your spirit, your soul, your guides they're always with you. And so that's an illusion, because all fear is an illusion of the mind. So I'm just saying, you'll be challenged your whole life with a core fear of abandonment. So it's asking you in every moment when you make decisions, am I abandoning myself? Am I suppressing my inner child? So these are just things to ask yourself, especially in relationships, especially because it's in the 7th house for you. So your core fears show up the most in partnerships. Is my husband going to abandon me? Am I going to be abandoned? Am my friend's going to abandon me? But this is deeply subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let's go to my favorite house, the 8th house of death. The 8th house is death, sex, other people's resources. If the 2nd house is your resources and your money, the 8th house, the opposite house, is other people's money, my husband's money, my partnership's money, and other people's resources. You have another retrograde asteroid there. So the 8th house is Scorpio and Pluto. Scorpio and Pluto both work with death and the underworld and degeneration and then regeneration. The 8th house is also taxes. Just a little side note, when the moon is in the 8th house or it's in Scorpio, it's the best time to do taxes because you get more than you bargained for.
Okay.
So yeah, the 8th house is occult knowledge. It's anything hidden, like as if there's a deep, dark lake. Most people don't want to even put their toe in it. It's gross, it's nasty, it's dark. I can't even see the bottom of the lake. But the 8th house is asking us to dive into the lake and discover hidden things. It's all about everything that's hidden or taboo, like death or sex or shamanism. All these taboo subjects are coming to the light currently on this planet. That's all 8th house subjects. Stuff like taxidermy and funeral homes, that's all 8th house. So if people have a lot of stuff in their 8th house, it indicates, oh, you're probably going to work with the dead, or you're going to talk to the dead. Like if you had Mercury there, it's like, oh, you talk to the dead. So anything there is you work with the dead, you work with death, you work with degeneration. You have Vulcan there, and Vulcan is, again, the blacksmith of the zodiac. It's an asteroid. It uses its hands. It's in retrograde. So you skipped a step there related to death, related to the death process, related to kind of looking at death in some way. So I don't know what that is for you, but it's for you to figure out. But it's a skipped step around using your hands and some kind of degeneration process. Like maybe there's have you heard of structural integration therapy?
No.
It's like breaking your bones. So it like works with your skeletal structure.
Okay.
It like moves the fascia. So it like, you get like a new body. That's I would say that's Vulcan in the 8th house. But basically that's something to meditate on, is a skip step related to working with your hands, blacksmith, related to death and degeneration. So you have Earth there. So a part of you feels at home in this house. A part of you feels at home with talking about deeper subjects, taboo subjects. Because if your whole family was like, we don't talk about those things for like thousands of years, and all of a sudden you're like, no, let's talk about these things. I actually feel safe. My Earth is there. I'm a part of the Earth. I'm on planet Earth. I feel at home in the 8th house. I think I want to talk about these things. I think I want to talk about trauma and the occult and deep hidden mysteries. I think I want to. So your family's like, well, you're weird because no one else wants to talk about this. Why do you want to talk about this? Well, because I have Vulcan there and I have, what am I? I'm Pluto and Scorpio generation. I'm the transmutation generation, the ruler of the 8th house. So you're very deep compared to your family. All right, so the 9th house is Sagittarius and Jupiter. So your Sagittarius, again, is your rising over here. That's where your Sag is. And it's your chart signature. So this house is very important to you. And that's where your moon is. That's where your emotions are. 9th house, again, is long distance traveling, higher knowledge, truth seeking, the spiritual seeker. It's all about your beliefs. What do you believe? Are you religious? Are you spiritual? Are you earth-based spirituality? What are you? What do you believe, Barbara? Those are the things that your soul is seeking. And then your moon is there in Virgo, which is the healer. Again, 6th house is Virgo, Mercury, the healer. Virgo is the healer. Your moon is there, so your emotions, when you express them, are healing. So again, talking about your emotions is healing. Expressing your emotions is healing. But also you analyze your emotions because Virgo is analytical.
Yeah.
Virgo is like, it has to put everything in a box. It has to organize everything. So when you feel an emotion, you have to like, well, this has to go here. And this, you know, like, so it's very kind of analytical way of processing emotions. So the 10th house, you have Libra in the 10th house. The 10th house, the ruler is Saturn and Capricorn. And your Capricorn's over here in the 1st house. So the south node of the moon is where you're coming from. It's the dragon's tail, remember, and your dragon's head is the north. So again, in the past, you were very, very focused on career. But in this life, you have to focus on family to balance out your soul. This is a certain asteroid that's not worth mentioning, to be honest.
Okay.
So you have Libra. So the one line is called the ascendant descendant line. The other major line is the MC and the IC line. The MC line is your career line because 10th house is career. You have Libra on the Libra on the MC. So you have a Libra-like career. So when you think about Libra, Libra is air. It's ruled by Venus. It's a Venus type career. It's the scales, the little glyph is the scales. So Libra is all about balance. So you could have a career where you help people with balance, where you help people with aesthetics, because Libra is the mirror. It's the ruler is Venus, which looks like a hand mirror. So you could help people with their what they look like, how they feel about themselves, their beauty. Libra's beauty. Anything that has to do with making oneself feel beautiful and balanced is a Libra-like career. You could be like work in an art museum or appreciate art. You help people appreciate the art in their own home. You know, oh, well, maybe we just need to paint and, you know, put some nice pictures over here and that'll shift the whole energy of your house. So I can see you doing that right now. But you're putting beauty into your career is what MC Libra is. So whatever you choose to do as a career, because it could change, just know that you will always put beauty into your career. So if you're coaching people and they're like, I want to feel better about myself, I want to feel beautiful, I want to look in the mirror naked and be like, damn, I'm sexy. So you'll help people accomplish these goals by helping them to feel beautiful in some way. So the 11th house is you're the landlord of the 11th house. So it's Aquarius and Uranus is the 11th house. You have Scorpio on the cusp of the 11th house, and its ruler is Pluto in the 8th house. So Pluto and Scorpio is at home with itself. So it's a generational placement. I can talk about this further, but it's a really cool placement because it affects your whole generation.
Okay.
So the 11th house rules networks, groups, community. It's your hopes, wishes, and dreams. And you have Pluto there. So Pluto is the farthest from the Earth. It's a tiny little dot they demoted to dwarf planet. So it used to be a planet, and now they're like, it's just a dwarf planet. We're going to demote it. It's not really important. But astrologically, it's the most important. It's literally again, a soul's evolutionary path. It's how your soul evolves. So you have North and South node, which points you in the direction to your evolution. But Pluto is literally the thing that your soul evolves from. So when it's at home in Scorpio, your soul is evolving through anything that has to do with regeneration. So it's a whole generation they call the regeneration generation. So it's the old witches and shamans and the old healers reincarnating is our generation. So Pluto is power. Pluto is your power. Pluto is how you evolve. So it's a powerhouse generation. So everybody born from 1983 to 1995 is Pluto and Scorpio. So everybody in your whole generation is transmuting and regenerating something for the whole. So when you have it in the 11th house, it plays a role in your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Like what you dream, what your vision is for humanity, it constantly dies and is reborn. That's Pluto. It's death and rebirth constantly. So how you create your vision in the world will constantly evolve your whole life. So if you feel like, everyone else's dream stays the same, I have to focus on one thing, it's not the case for you. It's, again, your vision will always change. And your vision is your power. So finally is the 12th house, which is the last sign of the zodiac is Pisces. And it's ruled by Neptune. And your Pisces, again, is over here. And Neptune is in the first house for you. So the 12th house is the collective unconscious. It's that giant ocean I was talking about. And then you have Saturn in the 12th house. So let's talk about Saturn really fast. Saturn is the planet of maturity. It's the planet of mortality. It's the planet of restriction. It rules the skeletal structure. It's anything solid or crystallized. It's very solid. This whole structure, this whole paradigm is Saturn. So wherever Saturn is in your chart, it's another focus point. It's where you're maturing. So when you're maturing in the 12th house stuff, which is you're understanding what the 12th house is, which is part of your homework and your research is researching your own chart. And the 12th house is asking you to get to know the difference between your own crap and the collective's crap. The collective unconscious. That's a lot of thoughts, a lot of crap, the giant ocean of everybody's thoughts that have ever been thought. That's the collective unconscious. So Saturn's asking you to mature and get to know the collective unconscious and to learn how to separate. Is this my shit or their shit? Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So are you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we have a little bit longer. So I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to switch the charts so we can look at your transit charts. So I'm going to pull up your transit charts. So it's where the planets are in the sky right now in relation to your natal chart.
Okay.
Give me one sec. Okay. So this is another version of your astrology chart.
Oh.
And I'll send you both versions. But this is the inner wheel is again your natal chart. It stays static, it doesn't change. And then the outer wheel, the green celestial bodies, are where the planets are in the sky right now for everybody. But they touch a house and they touch a planet for you. So that's what makes this individual, is what house and what planet it's touching. So like for everybody, Chiron's in Aries. So there's like a collective, everybody's healing the wound of the self. For everybody, the sun's in Pisces. It's like the second day of Pisces now. Now everybody that has a birthday in Pisces is going to have a birthday this month with the sun in the constellation of Pisces, and then it'll move to Aries and so on. So tracking the planets is tracking the cycle you're in. So it's helpful to look at the transit chart to see what is your focal point right now, because of all the stuff we went over in the last hour, that's a lot. You can't focus on all that crap in one, 1 month, 1 year, one whatever. So we break it down into what should I focus on right now.
Okay.
Is based on where the planets are, what they're touching for you right now. And sometimes they congregate together because different planets move quicker or longer than others. So the sun, it takes about 28, 29, 30 days for it to move into a new constellation. That's 30 days, right? Everybody has a birthday, and then the next month, everyone will have a different birthday. And then the moon is the quickest. The moon's in your 5th house right now in Taurus. It moves 2.5 to 3 days. It moves quickly.
Okay.
So like if the earth is right here and the moon is here, whatever's closer to the earth moves quickest. So you got Pluto, it's the furthest away from the earth. It takes 247 years to move all the way around. So you'll never see a Pluto return in your life. Then you got Venus and Mars, it takes 4 to 5 weeks to move. You got Mercury, it takes 3 to 4 weeks. You have Jupiter, it takes a year. You have Saturn, it takes 7 years. You have Uranus, it takes like 7, 8, 9 years. And Neptune is 14 years. And then Pluto is like 15 years. So the transits depend on the planet. So it's important to see, what's going on. So you have, check it out, like you got a lot of stuff in the 2nd house right now. It's you got a party going on in your 2nd house. So your stellium or your party that's happening is all about your finances. It's all about your Jupiter is expanding, that little 4 looking thing. That's the planet of luck, right? So it's expanding your money. So maybe you're getting more busy with your career and more money's coming in. Or you're getting really clear on your philosophy around your value system. But all these things are asking you to pay attention to the 2nd house themes, which the themes are money, your values, your possessions, and your resources. So let's look at where your full moon is. So the full moon is on the 27th. So let's look at that. Okay. So the full moon for you will be the 8th house.
Okay.
So I don't know if you track the moon at all, but when the moon is full, it pulls all the tides of the waters forward. Means it pulls all of the tides of our emotions forward. So whatever we suppress during the light of day, during a full moon, it all comes out and you can't suppress it. So full moon is a good time for those 2.5 days to look at your emotions and to let them go. It's a letting go energy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like thyroid stuff and some health stuff, it's an excellent time to do some kind of letting go ritual around letting go at the time of the full moon. So the 27th through like the 30th is an excellent time for you to carve some time out for yourself where you make it a ritual and letting go of something that you don't need to carry. Because the full moon will pull out these emotions for you to look out anyway. You might as well look at them and then release them. And so also the full moon is happening in Virgo, which Virgo is the healer. So this full moon will be especially focused for everybody around healing something, letting go of something related to healing, letting go of something so you can heal. Virgo rules the stomach. So watch out for stomach stuff during these 3 days. Like it's a good time to focus on your stomach, healing your gut, maybe taking some probiotics or any kind of foods that are very nurturing and healthy for your stomach. So just kind of notice for stomach stuff, health stuff, you could do some kind of ritual that I was mentioning around tuning into your throat and asking it directly, what do you need for me to let go of so I can heal you? So it'd be an excellent time to do that during that full moon phase. Again, maybe just, even carving out a few hours, take a nice sea salt bath, meditating, talking to your body, either buying a crystal bowl or borrowing someone's crystal bowl with the throat chakra vibration. Meditating with crystals, like putting crystals over your throat and like maybe asking the crystal to pull out energy that you don't need there and then putting it in the ground, like shamanism style, where you're literally extracting energy. It's what old shamans would do. They would put bones when they were healing people and they would pull things out and put it in the bone and then bury the bones. Yeah. So I definitely suggest that and the full moon. Do you have any questions? We got about a few minutes left. Anything at all pertaining to your life?
I don't know. I feel like I have so much and I got so many answers. I was thinking the other day about like my ancestors because I feel very attached to them. I always seek information about them. But I think you did mention that is part of being an Aquarius. That is what I do.
Well, that and that fourth house, because that's mainly fourth house stuff, is your ancestry. And you have Mars there, and Mars is like the planet of energy and war and passion. It charges up whatever area of the chart that it touches. So your Mars is always charging up the fourth house, which has to do with your ancestry. So you're always going to be super curious about your family's land, your ancestry, your ancestral gifts and talents. And so I would highly recommend like a birthday present to yourself if you already haven't done it, is do like ancestry.com or 23andMe kind of thing. You could write down a list of like one column you put gifts, and the other column you put curses, because that's what you're healing is family curses. So you write down all the gifts and talents that your people embodies, because whatever your people embodies, you embody, because the power is in the blood. So if you write down like, oh, we're survivors, we're perseverant, all these different things. And then in the other column, you write down, well, what are the issues in my bloodline? Alcoholism, they're quiet, they don't speak their truth. Like whatever it is, you write that down to make it more conscious. And then you could do, even on YouTube, you can pull up a shamanic journey to connect with your ancestors. And there's a lot of healing you can do just by using your imagination and allowing your consciousness to follow someone's voice in this guided journey. And you can imagine connecting with an ancestor, like a spirit guide, because you have an ancestral guide. We all do. So
Okay.
there's a guide. If you're strongly attracted to diving into your ancestry, you could solidify that by connecting with an ancient ancestor as one of your spirit guides. And you can like have a conversation with this aspect of your own bloodline and ask it directly, like, well, what do I need to know about my bloodline? How does that affect me? Does this have to do with my own healing? Maybe there's some healing around your ancestry that'll help free you up from this thyroid stuff. Because I mean, real fast, briefly, for me, I did an ayahuasca journey when I lived on Kauai, and the whole journey was about my throat. And I had to feel the collective pain of women's suppression. So I saw myself as a witch. My head got cut off in another life. And I had to sing in front of everyone to help repair that. It's like that. I mean, it's we're multidimensional, and it all timelines affect us now. And it was vastly healing for me to dive into doing that shamanic journey into my own throat and seeing, well, what's the block there. So I just know that your journey, when you dive deeper into your ancestry, you're going to find answers that help heal your throat stuff. Because there's a lot of gifts and talents and tools that your ancestry has to show you. And that's why you're so interested. Go ahead.
And even I've done some sessions before, like even Akashic readings, and I always asked about the throat chakra and the issues of the throat. And yeah, in the past lives, I had many problems saying no, or I was not allowed to say no, or not allowed to say anything. I always had to say yes and yes and yes, and that's another thing. That's part of the reasons I think I'm still dealing with that.
No,
that's when it opened my eyes. I was like, okay, it makes a lot of sense. Like, it makes a lot of sense. And I was the same way even now in this lifetime. And as a kid, I felt like I could never speak my mind. I was always afraid to speak my mind. And yeah.
Well, it's beautiful, because then the more you speak your truth, the easier it is, and you're free. There's nothing else that's keeping you in bondage. And it's a trip to know that your past lives affect the present.
Yeah.
It is a trip. And we are multidimensional. And when you heal that lifetime, you know, you're simultaneously healing the present. And it's all just tied together. All the timelines are like on top of each other.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
I have another
yeah, go for it.
question. Like for like as far as like relationship, well, I've been married for a while now. But just like the relationship with my husband, or is there anything that you can tell me about that? I don't know.
So you have, again, your black moon there is that's where you're triggered with your abandonment stuff the most is relationships. And then you have Hades. You think about the word Hades, right? It's the underworld. It's the Greek god of hell, the underworld. It's transiting over your 7th house. So when it passes over the relationship house, it's almost like you're going through a really dark period in all of your relationships. So your relationships start taking on like a darker tone, meaning the conversations that you have with people can seem darker, more deep, more heavy. The relationships in your own life can seem darker, more intense, more heavy. So that's a placement of you're being challenged in your relationships with looking at your own shadow. They call it shadow issues. Like Carl Jungian coined that term as shadow work, right? And shadow work is looking at your trauma. It's looking at your subconscious beliefs, your negative programming, your negative self-talk. And so relationships in general are going to force you to dive deeper within yourself and ask deeper questions about really everything. So if your relationship, your marriage partnership is taking on a more like there's more tension there, that's why it's like there's Hades that's asking you to dive into your underworld to find out everything that you haven't given yourself permission to look at and related to your own healing. So there's actually a lot of healing potential in a lot of your one-on-one interactions right now. That's what we're talking about right now is me and you are having a one-on-one conversation about deeper, darker subjects related to your healing. And so when you meet people, that's that Hades energy right now. And that's going to be going on for like another 6 months.
Okay.
I would have to look at your partnership or your relationship. It's called a composite chart where you put the charts together. You see where everything is because it creates a third energy. So there's your relationship and then you together, it creates a third energy. So it's a relationship chart. So if you wanted to dive deeper into your relationship, we'd have to put you guys together to dive deeper into that. Otherwise, there's not much in here that I can tell you other than Hades is there giving you a dark tone. Let's see. Another thing I want to say real fast is about Black Moon Lilith, that little crescent moon with a cross. For everybody, she's transiting Taurus. So she's highlighting a fear of scarcity for everybody. So on everybody on a planetary level, everybody's being challenged with fear of scarcity. Oh, there's not enough resources. I don't have enough money. Or because of this whole pandemic and it's triggering all this fear around jobs and money. And just know that fear is an illusion of the mind. And Black Moon Lilith is highlighting the fear to make it more conscious, not to trigger us, just to torture us. But so we make it more conscious so it no longer has power over us. So for another 6 months, you're going to see a collective theme and people are talking a lot about money and resources and lack. And know that it's an illusion. It's not real. we're transmuting the fear of lack. There's even though the planet is not in a good optimum state health-wise, we still are such an abundant planet. It's ridiculous how abundant this planet really is. So that fear of scarcity is absolutely an illusion.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
I cannot come up with anything. No, I think that's it then.
Yeah, it's kind of endless. 'Cause-
Yeah. It's a lot of information too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to stop the recording. La 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 la.